All right, guys, I want to talk to you about the new year and whether you have any kind of resolutions for it or not. I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. I'm not saying they don't work for everybody. I just know that they rarely work. And so I'm a person who sets a lot of goals anyway. I have long-range goals, medium-range goals, daily goals, and I even have micro goals within those goals to help me to accomplish them. You know, little achievable goals that kind of contribute to the big picture. So I'm not going to suggest to you any kind of resolution. You know, people stop talking about the resolutions about 15 days into the new year, and you never hear about them again. You know, so I don't even think about New Year's resolutions. But I offer a thought, and that is something I have learned I'm working on. I've been working on the past 3 or 4 years in my own self, and that is I have learned a great deal about not responding to all negativity. Not all disrespect, not all insults, not all negative comments and remarks deserve my attention. You know, I used to, just being a guy, perhaps, I don't know. Being a guy, I'm one of those people that I don't like being disrespected. If you disrespect me, I'm going to say something to you about it. But not anymore. Not all the time. Not all the time. I'll try to delineate that in a minute. But it's important, I think, to learn to not respond to all negativity. When you are a reactionary person, you are, in essence, feeding the monster. What happens when you feed a monster? It gets bigger. You are actually contributing to your own tribulation. You don't have to do that. Now, this is really hard for us to wrap our minds around. At least it was for me. And it is for a lot of people I know. Because I see a lot of people, and maybe it's something you do when you get to be older. You learn these things, maybe. Some people don't. But I see people around me, they still react to things they don't like. And I'm going to stand up for myself. I'm going to let them know how it was. I'm going to tell them how it was. I'm going to tell how it is. They can't treat me like that. That is a fast track to burning bridges, destroying relationships, fast track to divorce. You've got to learn. Now, there are times you have to stand your ground. You have to stick up for yourself. You know, when things are really bad and things are actually, threatening to the point of really causing damage, there are times to do that. But you don't have to feed the monster every chance you get. Sometimes it's actually beneficial and advantageous to appear weaker. And that's what we're afraid of, isn't it? We're afraid to appear weak. We know we're not, but we're afraid to appear weak. Get over that and learn not to give all of your attention to everything that you don't like that's coming out of somebody else's mouth. And I've been taken to the very brink of divorce. I've put myself in jeopardy on my job by standing up for myself and not letting people talk to me like that. It's really easy to ruin yourself. And the reason why is because people know how to push your buttons. And they know what will get you in trouble, and they will set you up, they will provoke you, and you'll walk right into it thinking that you're doing the right thing because you stood up for yourself, you're proud. And that's not always the right thing to do. It's been very tough for me. It's been very hard for me to really learn this. It's been a long row to hoe. But I'm getting better. I'm getting a lot better. A lot better. I mean, the difference is almost night and day compared to how I used to be 5, 6, 10 years ago. I don't argue the same as I used to. Not nearly as often. People might say, well, you could be bordering on manipulating other people. Yeah, you probably could. It's not always bad. Just keep in mind that other people are trying to manipulate you. You might as well learn the ropes to some degree. Jackie Joyner-Kersee was an Olympic athlete back in the 80s and 90s, and she was very accomplished. She struggled with asthma most of her life, and she said some pretty good stuff. One of the things that she said that I really liked, she goes, if I stop to kick every barking dog along the way, I'll never get to where I want to go. If I stop to kick every barking dog along the way, I'll never get to where I want to go. Perhaps you can reflect over your own life and assess whether your stand-up character and your pride and your reactions actually hampered your progress. It's just a thought. It's just a thought. Maybe what I'm saying does not relate to anything that you experience, and this isn't for you. But I can tell you, it's been something I've had to learn. I have learned to ignore negativity. Now, you do have to respond to some things. Remember, she said, if I stop to kick every barking dog. She didn't say biting dog. She said barking. Biting dogs have to be dealt with. You know, dogs that actually are in the process of destroying you have to be dealt with. I work on a job, I work in the utility industry, where I show up to accounts, residences, commercial accounts. And some of these places have dogs. Some are vicious, some are friendly, some appear friendly, but turn vicious. You never know. You come up to a fenced yard, it's meant to keep something in or to keep something out. You learn as a service worker to look for the signs. You look for fecal matter. You look for worn runways. You look for chew toys. You look for, you smell. You try to detect any kind of an odor of an animal. Anything that would give any kind of sign of an animal, flaps on doors. And at the same time, you look under and around the bushes and around corners. You make a lot of noise, but you look for a way out and you look for a weapon. Okay? Because you don't, I'll walk in sometimes with a weapon and people get upset and I say, I don't intend to hit your dog with what I've got in my hand. I just want the dog to know that I've got something. And sometimes that's all it takes. Biting dogs have to be dealt with. And you might have biting dogs in your life that actually do need to be dealt with. If they are actually gnawing on your leg and destroying you, you do have to deal with that. But if dogs are if dogs are just barking, that's another thing. A lot of people bark. A lot of people run their mouth. A lot of people say things. And they're trying to provoke you. They're trying to get you mad. They're trying to get you to say and do something that you shouldn't do. And you do it. You react to it. And then before you know it, you're called on the carpet. I'm going to do a video about that one time, about where we actually get that, why we say call on the carpet. But we get called on the carpet, you know what I'm talking about, into the boss's office. Or we get threatened with a divorce because we've done it too much, even though the other person might have provoked it. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying how you feel and what you do is unnatural. It's not. It's very natural. This has to be taught. You have to learn to stop reacting to everything. Start ignoring negativity that really isn't doing anything. Yes, words do hurt. They do hurt. But they only hurt as much as you let them hurt. And you just have to learn, in road rage incidents, I am not a stellar example of what to do in a road rage incident. But I'm learning. When people make you mad, they're cursing you out, they're flipping you off, I don't have to respond. When your spouse is going, and I'm not saying your spouse does it all the time, but you know what I'm talking about. We all do it. When your spouse is picking on you, they're saying things to you, running their mouth, and you know they're trying to provoke you, or at least even if they're not trying to provoke you, they're just getting on your nerves so bad because who knows why they're doing what they're doing. All you know is it's pushing you over the edge. Just remember, you don't have to react to it. Reacting to it feeds the monster. You can shut that down by not reacting. But it doesn't mean you don't have to respond at all. You can respond kindly, whether it's a few words. If you have to defend yourself, here's what I've learned. If you have to defend yourself against a biting dog, when I'm in a yard, I don't hit a dog more than I have to. I have seen people fight back against a dog and go into overkill. Have you ever seen somebody in a fist fight and hit more than what they should to the point of nearly killing somebody? You don't have to do that. You don't have to do it with a biting dog either. You only hit as much as you need to. I've learned personally, I just hope this helps. I've learned personally that if you're being attacked, feel it out, defend yourself, say what you need to say it once, get off of it. Try that. Next time you get into an argument with your spouse or your children or your boss or a customer, if you have to say anything at all, if the negativity, if you just cannot not pay attention to it, if you are going to give it your attention, and you say, well, I have to say something. Say it once, get off of it. Don't keep repeating yourself about the matter. Don't keep trying to defend yourself, because you go into overkill. You just aggravate yourself, you become more mad, and then you end up wanting to kill the person. Not necessarily literally. But that's how I've been working on myself over the past 3 or 4 years. I will continue to do so. But I figure maybe going into the new year, it might give you a little something to think about. Hopefully it helps. If you have any questions about what I'm talking about, feel free to put them in the comments below. I do respond. And I really appreciate you watching, taking the time. If you like the content, subscribe, hit the thumbs up. I appreciate it, guys. I hope you have a happy new year. About the only thing I think I'm going to do for the new year probably is trim my beard back a little bit more. A little bit shorter, because I did kind of mess up. I was trimming it myself and screwed it up. I covered it up kind of nicely, but I'm going to get it trimmed back even more so it can grow out a little more full and in a better shape. Anyway, guys, I enjoyed it. Have a great one. Stay safe. Bye-bye.